This round 2 is made possible thanks to Surfshark VPN. And as I said before, it's important to be safe out there while browsing the web. Most of the time, folks are not even aware of the amount of surveillance, limitation, and data mining happening to them on a daily basis, and dealing with that is not too obvious for some. That is, unless you use Surfshark VPN and its easy one-for-all solution. No matter if you're on Windows, Android, or one of those shiny Apple products, with a click of a button, Surfshark turns you into an anonymous and hard-to-track user, giving you more freedom on the internet, keeps you away from prying eyes, and prevents companies from doing things like geo-blocking, where video and streaming services restrict your library simply because of where you live. Either way, Surfshark makes that a non-issue. Start up the service, choose your location, refresh the page, and you're back to watching The Office here in America. Important for someone like my brother, who, I'm not kidding, has an impressively large Office Funko Pop collection. Not judging as an amiibo collector, for the record. And those that use the link in the description below and enter the special code Johnny will not only get 83% off their initial order, but the next 3 months are also completely free. Thanks to Surfshark VPN for the sponsor, and thank you for helping support this channel as always. Now let's continue on with the show.
Are you ready for round 2?
And welcome back to round 2, where I take a second look at a game I already reviewed either because of patch updates, downloadable content, anything that warrants a second visit. And today's case is one of few instances of us looking at something that was for the Wii U and seeing new life brought to it on the Nintendo Switch. Super Mario 3D World has entered the Switch scene with a few added bells and whistles as part of Mario's 35th anniversary celebration. And unlike Mario 35 or the All-Stars collection, this one is seemingly here to stay. And man, it really doesn't feel like it's been close to 7 years since I last looked at the original on the Nintendo Wii U. As someone who enjoyed his time with Mario 3D Land on the 3DS, despite it being the textbook definition of playing it safe, my initial thoughts on 3D World was, it's probably just going to be an HD version of 3D Land for consoles. And while that is technically the case, I thought the game nevertheless was a fun journey that sure didn't have the level of scope as Mario's other 3D outings, but it more than delivered on the good times through its arcade kinetic nature and absolutely chaotic multiplayer. The multiplayer alone was enough to make it stand out and sell, and don't get me wrong, it had problems, namely with the camera being complete shit when folks weren't coordinated and all that. But with a dedicated bunch of friends, as we demonstrated on something like Brain Scratch over on SGB, things can get bonkers for good and ill. Oh, that about me?
Right!
Brick.
Right!
We don't want to miss that exit. Right. Still, as a single player adventure, it was nothing groundbreaking, even a little too repetitive for 100% completion, seeing as you needed to complete every level with every character to fill out that completion log. Sounds exhausting just thinking about it. So when I learned that Mario 3D World is coming to the Switch, I won't lie, as much as I thought it was cool that a much larger user base gets to experience a solid Mario game, I wasn't head over heels on the announcement. Mario 3D World for the Switch? Okay, that's fine. I'd really like a Metroid Prime trilogy on the Switch too, but beggars can't be choosers. But in addition to bringing 3D World, Nintendo also included this brand new mode called Bowser's Fury. And you want to talk about something leaving a lasting impression on just a trailer? Jesus fucking Christ. Bowser's Fury left me awestruck because holy fuck, what the hell happened to Bowser? It wasn't on the same pants-shitting level as when I first encountered Giga Bowser back in Smash Bros. Melee, but okay, it finally happened. Bowser made that pact with Satan to take out Mario. What the hell is happening here that even Bowser Jr. needs Mario's help? This was the main reason I was curious about reinvesting in this re-release. And with that said, just to be upfront with you, I ended up not spending much time revisiting 3D World for this video because it's mainly the same good time that I feel my original video still does a fine enough job getting into, though there have been a couple of added touch-ups and reworks since there's no longer a gamepad to work with. In fact, anything involving the Wii U's gamepad was changed to either be automated, like the propeller platforms, or made possible to interact with the pointer you control with the controller's gyroscope. More than functional solo, but a nightmare to deal with when all of your friends have the same idea as you. Speaking of a nightmare, the Captain Toad levels are also now capable of being played with friends, and guess what? They all have control of the same camera, and that's just, Why? Miiverse isn't a thing anymore, but you can still collect those stamps that are now fully colored, and you can use them in the game's photo mode if that tickles your fancy. Besides that, they also increased the movement speed for characters. I never really thought the original game was unbearably slow, but it's nice having faster movement anyway. A few things were sped up actually. The characters, the fireballs you throw out, the Koopa shells are faster, and you can also climb longer distances with the cat suit now, so getting those green stars should be less of an issue. You can grab a propeller box in the ice world and do this kind of shit. That is insane. Online multiplayer is the new addition for 3D World in the Switch though, and you know that's like the major thing to be curious about when going back into this game. Online multiplayer with Mario platformers don't have the best track records. Nah, that's too nice. They can eat shit. So they promise online multiplayer with 3D World. All right, I gotta get some friends and try it out. Making sure my internet connection stabilized, making sure I got that LAN adapter. Not a big fan of the game constantly flashing that my connection is unstable anyway, despite evidence to the contrary. The final verdict? It was okay. Started a little rough, there was some stuttering at first, but it quickly eased up and it was playable. Still a degree of latency, which I feel is just inevitable given Nintendo's online infrastructure, especially learning about its inner machinations recently. I mean, Windows 98 checks, mother of God. But for what we got to play together, it was fine. Same amount of fun, same amount of chaos, Mario 3D World Online. It's exactly what it sounds like. I am, however, annoyed that online does nothing to fix the camera issue of local multiplayer. It still tries to keep all players on the screen rather than just have a camera for every client. As such, it's still tremendously easy to lose track of what you're doing because of camera obstruction, and there's nothing fun about that. It's just annoying as shit. I understand maybe they kept it as originally designed to encourage players working together so that Linky Lanky Legs over here just can't clear the level in 3 seconds because he just has other shit to do that day. But I think everyone having a camera for themselves will be more beneficial than harmful. So buyer beware, if this is your second go around, or maybe you're thinking of picking up 3D World for the first time, online multiplayer is functional, but it could have been better. Bowser's Fury, as I said before, is what I was really interested for this revisit, and that's going to be the bulk of this video. I was expecting something small, and I mean altogether it took me around 5 to 6 hours to get everything in this mode, but I was still impressed by how much I ended up liking this. Mario's out for a leisure stroll when he suddenly notices some black goop on the floor, and after following it for a bit, he comes across... Ooh, they really know just how to squeeze my testicles, do they? So anyway, Mario falls into a new realm and he's immediately greeted by the ferocious Fury Bowser that is thankfully driven away the moment Mario collects his first cat shine. Are they just trying to get me to drink again? Bowser Jr. suddenly makes an appearance and frantically pleads with Mario to help him out. His dad is not quite himself, and he knows Mario can solve the predicament at hand. I just love how Mario is not having any of this shit Bowser Jr. is spitting out. I mean, he agrees to help anyway, but he knows Jr. is skimming on details, but none of that really matters. Bowser is super fucking pissed, and Jesus Christ, he's so intimidating. I love this about Bowser's Fury. In a change of pace compared to how Mario 3D World usually works, as strange as this sounds, Bowser's Fury is more akin to a traditional 3D Mario game, where level design is broader and filled with these shiny trinkets you collect as you complete a bunch of micro challenges offered in every one of these small islands. Think of it as Mario 64 compressed, or Mario Sunshine. Jesus, Blue Coin Bustle. They are fucking with me. I know they are. Oh man, it's all the Sunshine callbacks here. I see their game. The Blue Coin challenges, the Shadow Luigi missions where you chase them down and smack them to make them go away. There's this mother cat that's lost her kittens, and later on there's one that requires you to get a cat from far away and ride this iceberg to bring them back. Just like how you took Yoshi on that slow-ass boat to unlock the Poison River in Sunshine. I see it. You're not fooling me. Fucking Bowser Jr.? Nah, I bet that's Shadow Mario in disguise. Fucking sick of this shit. But I mostly jest. It was pretty nostalgic seeing the throwbacks. I even like how Junior uses his magic paintbrush to help you discover power-ups, and despite his bratty exterior, you know he's grateful that Mario is trying to help rescue his dad. There's over 100 of these cat shines to collect through the land, with more islands becoming accessible as you collect more shines. Every island basically challenges you in a similar fashion. There's a matter of getting to the island's lighthouse first, which is rewarding as it's a good means to explore the land ahead of you, with power-ups and more waiting for those who dig deep and explore. Then you can collect 5 of these cat shards to make up a whole shine, similar to what you do with red coins in other games. You want to break these in half though. You can always have Bowser Jr. at your side, and even set his AI to help you a lot or a little if that's not really your thing. But no matter that setting, you can manually send the kid to inspect certain elements or whack bad guys from afar, or get this, collect those shine shards. I didn't realize I can even do this until I got to the final islands, but if you're hurting trying to get those shards just out of reach, Junior here makes them trivial. Kinda busted actually. But besides shards, there might be another collectathon with some blue coins. You could be chasing down a shadow clone, a platforming challenge you have to complete in 20 seconds or less, or maybe you're required to find a key to this cage and bring it back without losing it. These are all the standard challenges one might expect in a 3D Mario game, and structurally it all works as before. But because we're within the 3D World engine, this also means we still have access to the main campaign's power-ups. I'm talking the cat suit, the fire flower, the boomerang suit, the tanuki suit, all of that. And since power-ups are given to you in spades in Bowser's Fury, this essentially gives Mario multiple means of completing challenges ahead of him, and man, I love that about this mode. I always wanted a 3D Mario game with power-ups that weren't so situational. You know me, I was never big on the special caps in Mario 64, or the limited viability of the fire and ice flowers in Galaxy, or that stupid spring suit. Bowser's Fury, if you ask me, highlights the amazing potential a 3D Mario game could have if we always had those traditional power-ups at our disposal for the sake of collecting shines or getting through challenges in fun and unique ways. That was one of my favorite things about playing this mode. You know, the fact that I could just jump around platforms like a typical Jumpman, or with some proper timing, I could use the Tanuki suit to flip my way towards the shine instead. Mario's versatility can be incredibly captivating in this mode, which is impressive. In a post-Mario Odyssey world, that is impressive because, and I'll be the first to say, I still think Odyssey Mario is the best Mario's ever been in a 3D Mario game. There's just no beat in the kind of shit Mario could do with Cappy, both with the capture ability and the stuff Mario could do outside of that. The re-release of Mario 3D World even adds a couple of Odyssey's best moves, like the mid-air dive to name one of them, so even the folks in Nintendo know that Odyssey was the pinnacle of 3D Mario design, and that going backwards, in a sense, was kind of a tough sell for dedicated players. But for what they managed to achieve in Bowser's Fury using Mario's traditional power-up system, that has to be commended, and one that I would be more than happy to see bring to its full potential in a future game, because Bowser's Fury plants the seeds, but doesn't have enough to flesh it out. Didn't take awfully long to fully complete it, and every challenge is on the short end, despite still being pretty fun. And I didn't even touch the icing on the cake yet, Bowser himself. So throughout your whole adventure, as you're collecting these shines, after enough time passes, Bowser will temporarily awaken from his dark slumber and, good God, try to fuck your shit up. This is so great. Fury Bowser is the best thing to happen to the dude since the video of him dancing in the catsuit. This guy is out for blood, raining projectiles from the sky, trying to incinerate you with his fire breath, and wrecking your shit if you try and get too close. His sheer size, the gloomy atmosphere, the metal as fuck music playing in the background. It's an amazing spin on the otherwise traditional Mario experience that adds a degree of tension I haven't felt in a Mario game in so long, if ever, not counting Unagi. Even something as simple as guiding a kitten back to their mom never felt so unnerving. I'm carrying the kitten, right? But then it starts getting cloudy, the rain's falling, I gotta get this kitten back, fuck. Alright, family's back together, a joyous family reunion, but then Fury Bowser comes out, his corrupting influence has affected the cats, now they're evil, that caught me off guard, I was like, oh fuck, I gotta kill these cats now. But no, it's Mario, you'd never do that. But that doesn't mean I can't take the preemptive. Long live the king, bitches. You're collecting these cat shines to awaken these humongous cat bills. After you get enough of them, they pop off, you go and grab them while Bowser is awake, and Mario becomes this like super Saiya people cat, where you then have a one-on-one bout with Bowser. You're not trying to grab his tail or spit water in his mouth, no man, this is like an old-fashioned kaiju battle. You're throwing shit at him, smacking him around with your paws, or stomping the fuck out of his stomach. These are a good payoff for collecting the shines, and if Fury Bowser made you sweat a bit during normal gameplay, these can be cathartic as all hell. I'll repeat, Fury Bowser is the next best thing about this mode, but it does begin to lose some of its luster the more you play it, especially when you realize he's technically needed for 100% completion. There are a few shines that are locked behind these Bowser blocks that can only be destroyed by Bowser's fire breath. So what do you do when these are some of the last shines you need for the island? Nothing. You're waiting until Fury Bowser wakes up, and that is lame. It was like waiting for enough time to pass a Majora's Mask to get certain side quests done. Now, given how new mission objectives are added to the islands every time you revisit them after collecting enough shines, you are encouraged to fill the time with other tasks, and that's fine, but then it's a scramble to get back to those Bowser blocks when the time does come, and not in the scary tension-filled scramble, but more like, if I fuck this up, I'm waiting around again and I don't want to do that sort of scramble. Now, if you happen to have a Bowser amiibo on the other hand, you can use that to instantly summon the dude and get those elusive shines much faster. I'm glad there's a workaround at least. Years of collecting these colorful dust magnets is finally paying off. But those that don't have access to it are in for repeated downtimes. Oh my god, especially when you're collecting those final 5 cat shines, because you can only get one at a time, seeing as every time you collect a shine when Bowser is out, the power of the shine immediately sends him back to sleep. And since these shines are only available when Fury Bowser is awake, yeah, put 2 and 2 together, that shit's dumb. Didn't like that part at all. While I don't think this completely justifies the $60 price tag for this re-release given its brevity and untapped potential, I was still pleasantly surprised to see how much I enjoyed this mode. It's nothing that hasn't been done before in other Mario games, but again, the ideas it runs with, what this could eventually turn into, that is what I find captivating. So if Mario 3D World with online multiplayer and a few added touches to the gameplay didn't entice you enough, you might find Bowser's Fury more than enough to fill the gap, even if the mode itself, in my opinion, doesn't last long enough to satiate that need completely. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next round 2. As always, thank you all for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you decide to go outside. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care. I actually haven't opened this in a few years before I made this video, and the insides reeked of vodka. What was I doing? I don't remember what I did with this canister before making this video.